Apeirophobia, I can get over ya. Yes, I can, and I don't need a man. Just a bit of faith and a plan. No philosophical scam, just a plan and a hand from my subreddit clan.
Hey, Apeirophobia people. This is Mark Robert again, and I wanted to just make a quick movie for you, and just to respond to lately. I've just noticed some people who understandably think that if somebody gets over it, then maybe they didn't really have it, or they didn't have a bad case of it, or might be something suspicious about such a person if they get over apeirophobia. And I think that's really understandable. But I just really want to encourage people to believe that you really can get over this. You just can. First of all, there's kind of a natural course with it for many people where they have it when they're younger, and then as they get older, it's just not so much of a thing for them, or it goes in the background and then sometimes comes back. But it's not like it once was when they were younger. A lot of people on the Reddit are quite young, teens, early 20s, stuff like that. And things improve. You don't know that necessarily when you're young, but they just do, for most people. Not for everybody, but for most people, they just do. And they may still have some aspect of apeirophobia. But I think there are people who, maybe don't dig into curing themselves of it as much as maybe they could, because it just, as they get older, it's just not as much of a problem for them. For those for whom it is, I just really, again, want to say you can get over this. I have. Someone asked me recently if I'm 100% over it. And I said, that was an interesting question, 100%. I wouldn't want to say I'm 100% over anything, because things have, we can't control reality to that extent. I told this person I was 99% over it, I would say, because I haven't had a apeirophobic attack in maybe 35 years, something like that, and I have no anxiety about it whatsoever. The main interest I have in it is to help people like you, and it's a journey to really fully heal from it, but it's a really good journey, like a fascinating journey, and a worthwhile journey, and you can do it. That's really just what I want to say right now, is you can do it. You may not think you can, but you can. You really can. And I'm here to help. There are other people that are here to help. And maybe at the beginning, the most important thing to understand is that you don't know who you are, yourself. You don't know what time is, and you don't know what space is. You might have some ideas about it. We all have ideas about it. We have the kind of low resolution idea that everybody has in our culture, but you really don't know. And if you honestly admit that to yourself, then you can get a little bit of space from apeirophobia. Because apeirophobia relies on the idea that you are who you think you are, this self kind of separate from everything else, and you're kind of enclosed by space. It's like a house you live in, space. And time goes step, step, step. Like that's what time is like. It's one step after another. And at the very end, at a place we can never get to, that's infinity. That's what we think time is. What if it's not like that, actually? What if that's something like, you look out in your garden and you see what appears to be a snake out there, and you jump. You're afraid because you see a snake. It's obviously a snake to you. And if somebody asks you, what is that? You say, it's a snake, obviously. Are you stupid? But then if you just look really closely, if you go closer and closer and you really investigate it, if you're brave enough to do that, you might actually see that it's just a water hose. It's not a snake. And then what happens to your fear? It just totally goes away. You thought it was something scary, but it isn't. This is a little bit like time and space and you, yourself. If you look at these things very closely, you can discover that they're not what you thought. I'm not saying it's simple, but you can do it. I've done that. I'm no genius. A lot of people have done that. People have done that through different spiritual paths. They've done that as philosophers or scientists. Some, I would guess. But it's possible. It really is. It really is possible, and you can do it. And you can know, and even if you don't do it, you can know that other people have. That's better than thinking, oh, it's not possible. No one's actually done it, and if they have, then they never had it in the first place, or they didn't understand it, or something like that. That's really not true. So I don't know. I don't mean to be argumentative against that view, but I just really want to say strongly that you can free yourself from this, and you can be confident that you can. And if there's any way that I can help you, I want to. I'm working on it. I'm very slow developing a kind of a program for this, but that's my intention to do that. But it's subtle, and it is deep stuff, so it's not so easy to kind of put something together. But it also, people find their own ways too. Don't wait on me. Get out yourself as fast as you can. And you've got tons of people that want to help you. Everybody on the Apeirophobia subreddit, wants to help. We all want to help. It's a great community. The Discord and Apeirophobia subreddit, it's a really great community. I really appreciate connecting with a lot of people. Over time, I've connected with a lot of people there. It's been fun. It's been wonderful. So I hope to make more of these that are useful, and I will see you later then. Take care.